What is going on, guys? Corrosive Bullet here, and today we are going to be doing the deck profile and showcasing gameplay of the new Namek Goku deck. As you guys may have seen from previous posts, I haven't been able to really get around to this one because I lack the secret rares, but the other day I pulled the extra 2 secret rares I need for the playset, so we are now able to kind of divulge into it. And to celebrate that occasion, I actually did go into the first anniversary tournament event with this deck and went 5-2 with this deck. Which was which is very surprising because it was definitely it definitely shifted around my perception of this deck completely. Like, the difference between 2 secret rares and 4 secret rares is like next to none. So we're gonna go over the gameplay and the deck profile here. If you guys want to see my actual performance over the first anniversary tournament, the live is still live for you to be able to go and check it out. I'll put a link either in the description or in the video here somewhere if you want to go and watch those games and see my in-person reaction and to all the plays and stuff. But otherwise, I'm going to show you guys some of the highlights of the matches here. But in terms of the deck list, I mean, it's relatively standard. I mean, there's really like not many ways that you can really like change this deck around and not have it you know, fumble anyway. Like, you gotta build this a specific way because of the fact that you need these Murrays to self-awaken. The idea of the game is to get yourself self-awakened as fast as you possibly can, so that you can start doing the big damage stuff that he does. So we got Murrays for that. We got Krillins, which are a great deterrent from your opponent going after your board. Killing this guy allows us to ramp, which this deck doesn't need to ramp, but I mean, it's a good deterrent from having my opponent actually KO my board. This Gohan self-awakens us and allows us to obviously kill something on their battle, either something on their board for free if we're at 2 or less life, or just something cheap while we're still trying to self-awaken. This promo Goku is like the crux of the deck. Just being able to play him on turn 3, being able to go down to 2, awaken, and then still get an extra swing off with this guy is fantastic. He applies so much additional pressure where this deck kind of lacks it otherwise. And then obviously we got the big crux of the deck, obviously the secret rare. Secret rare is detrimental to this deck. If you aren't running the secret rare in this deck, I don't think you're going to be able to really get this off. And then we got our extra package. We have 2 of these full powers in case we need to do some board clearing. 2 warm greetings for those really sticky bodies that we're not really able to really get rid of, like Jiren and Tamagami 3 and stuff like that. This is kind of here to kind of facilitate that. We obviously got our Pot of Greeds. Pot of Greed is a fantastic card. And then we got our endgame Destructo Disc. Playing this with the Double Striker going for game allows you to swing for 65,000 Double Strike crit, which is just it's so oppressive. It's crazy. And then some additional support going into the matches here. We got 2 of these Gohan Searchers. I might actually take this out of the deck. There was never really a time where I played this, and when I do play it, it's mainly just to find... is it Saiyan only, right? Saiyan, yeah, it's Saiyan, lesser Saiyan. So, like, it's generally to find Pot of Greed. It's usually here to find, like, full powers. Basically any of our standard like Saiyan stuff, like our Gohans, our other Gohans, our Gokus here, basically. But I mean, I didn't really get a whole lot of use out of this, so I might take this out, maybe replace it with 1 or 2 Nappas for some extra offensive pressure. Maybe throw in, I was thinking about throwing in one of the Double Strike Grade 8 Vegetas just as a crux on the off chance that we can't, like, if we already have one of these on board, we can play a pretty expensive body that removes something off board and is an extra Double Striker. I thought that would be an interesting play to make. But yeah, I mean, this deck is relatively standard. Hercules to kind of get stuff back from the drop. Our Earthling drops. Chaozus to potentially freeze some stuff down. We got our Searcher. Bulmas. We got a couple of these guys on the off chance that we have a built-up board, but we want to protect it. He's kind of here. But yeah, that's the deck list. Let me know what you guys think. Let's jump into the games. Alright, so our first match was up against Namek Goku. Namek Goku was definitely one that I was a little scared of, because obviously Glorio is definitely kind of a bit of a scary card to deal with. So we go through the standard procedure here. Basically, awaken before he's able to awaken. Try to get down in life as best as we can, and try not to swing with many things on our board where we can help it. And just let him facilitate our awakening, right? Let him push us to do it rather than forcing it to do it ourselves. In this case, obviously, we had nothing to really play on turn 2. So we kind of just, again, we let him do the awakening for us. We do not care. We do not necessarily care. He plays this promo Goku. I'm not 100% sure why playing this for the self-awakening, I guess, sure. But now he's just giving us something to, like, not attack into him with. And we can just destroy it. And we chose not to awaken because obviously he can't kill us. He's not going to play Glorio this turn because he's not awakened. So we take this hit. He wants to get rid of our board. He can do that. And that's perfectly fine for us. Nothing too crazy here. But now we can finally awaken and do the things that we want to do. So obviously we go in here and we just start playing cards. We start searching. We get the out that we need to get rid of that card on board, and we just pass. We don't even bother awakening him. There's just no point. No point in awakening him this early. So he starts going for a Tamagami 3 play. And Tamagami 3 obviously is very important here because he's able to, block any attacks that we throw our way. But this is a good turn for us to just throw Gohan out there, cheat out something for free, and just, again, not even bother swinging into him. Like, this does absolutely nothing for us. So he goes for the double Tamagami play, which unfortunately for him, this does nothing. He unknowingly decided to block with Tamagami, which just makes our job so much easier. So we just double full power and just completely remove his board. And we don't even draw when we swing, so there's no even real reason to swing with our lead. So once again, we continue to build up our board. He's gonna have to commit resources if he wants to remove it. And he does. He finds the out. He has the secret rare, which removes most of our board, but like most of the board, that it doesn't even matter at that point. So now at this stage in the game, we are starving him. The idea is to starve him completely, or as best as we possibly can. So obviously we're going to get a lot of draw recursion back. And now's a time where we can kind of... Yeah, so he decides to let that go and negates it. So we cheat out the Gohan, play the Gohan out, completely remove that. And so now he's even less in hand. So we just continue to starve him, basically. We know that he can play probably a second secret rare, so it's not that big of a deal for us. And now he finally gets the awaken. Yep, and we decided to go down because we've yet to see our secret rare, so I wanted to play our secret rare to go for this game here. We got our extra 3-cost promo Goku, so we can finally just go in on him with as low of a hand size as he has. Clearly, he's not using super combos here, so we have more than enough firepower to be able to help get us there. Yeah, and we just push. We just make a big push. We go 50. He's got 4 cards in hand. We got a secret rare. We go up 20,000. We go up another 20,000, so 85. And yeah, it just was not enough. It was not enough for him to do it. So again, I mean, if there's any way to kind of play this deck, it's to let your opponent do the work for you. Awaken yourself where you can. Let your opponent swing into you where possible. Just keep control of the board as early on as you can. And just in decks like this, where being awakened does a lot more for them than not, like you want to try and stall out your opponent, as best you can. I'm not saying it's going to work every time, but like that's in a lot of these matches, this is what basically allowed us to win the game. So let's go on to the next one. All right, so this next one we went up against Frieza. I was actually kind of excited to actually run into this because I wanted to see how Frieza runs with like a lot of the new support that came out with Frieza. So we kind of I mean, again, name of the game, just self-awaken, don't swing with it much on our board, and just kind of let him do the work for us. So we charge Warm Greeting because obviously if you play Secret Rare, we're not going to be able to remove it anyway, and I don't feel like there's anything important enough at 3 costs or less to really use that card on, so a Warm Greeting here doesn't really do much for us. So he did this, which unfortunately hurts him because now it gives us a target to swing out on board and we can just build ourselves up instead. Yep, so we just start playing cantrips, and I think we whiff here. Oh, we did not whiff. We got the other searcher. So once again, just let him swing into us, let him build up our hand and board. So this is where it starts getting a little scary because obviously like these Vegetas protect his board and we don't even have much of a board here. So obviously our primary focus is going to be doing what we can to remove this board. Some Bulma on Bulma hate crime action there. Just kind of... We did this for the self-awakening, not even to really go into them. And at that point, we're just fine with awakening. But we got 2 cards out of him. So obviously, like, he's thinned out. He's going to have to play something to self-awaken. So we know Secret Rare is not coming this turn. He goes with the same exact combo again, but now he's so thinned out on hand, and we can start building up our board and doing things on our board now. So we just protect our board. He's not going to swing into us, so we just do what we can to protect our board. It's that simple. We got the hand size for it, so... And he did the worst thing he could probably do, which is like take these guys out of rest mode. Unfortunately, I don't know why this tech is used in Frieza still, because why would you want to restand the things that you want to protect, right? Unless it's like the barrier cards that the barrier or blockers that Frieza is kind of known to use. There's really no reason to do that. But we were able to wipe his whole board, and really just hammer home that like, hey, I'm in control of this match. This is my match. So obviously we don't want to go, he has a lot of cards in hand, so we're blocking to prevent Double Striker. Double Striker could be a real problem. So obviously he played out everything that he needed to play out, so we just take this and go. So we charge a Secret Rare because we already got one in hand. And we don't have a means of being able to remove anything on the board here. So we decide to go with the Gohan play to cheat out the Secret Rare early. And we don't even swing because we know Secret Rare we know the Secret Rare because we know that the Secret Rare could have come out and been played out, so we wanted him to play around and like cheat this guy out, or we want him to force him to rest this guy and not play out the Secret Rare to remove it. He can obviously do this next turn, but like we're still relatively in control here. Like we got draw power in our hand. I probably could have used that Warm Greeting to remove one of the Gokus off board, but I didn't necessarily want to give him extra power in any way. And he's being very protective of everything he's got here. So we decided to freeze down one of the Gokus too, I think, in this. Yep, so we got our second Secret Rare. Perfect. Next turn, we can just cheat this outright and go all in. And now he's got a board that he has to contend with. He's got quite the board that he has to contend with. So if he wants to remove our Double Striker, he can. Obviously, like Secret Rare Frieza would be very scary here. And he's trying to go for double strike here. So obviously we protect this. So he decides to go for the control aspect again, starts freezing everything down. And I don't know why he went for this play when we want to be at 2 regardless. And now we have a means to remove his board. So now we have our crazy board. We have another secret rare that we can just cheat out if we want to. So we swing at him just to kind of see what he's doing here. And obviously we cheated in. We go down to 2. And now we can kind of just hard cast. We should have more than enough to be able to go all in and take him out. And we did. So, yeah, what he probably should have done was he probably should not have used Supernova there. He probably should have just waited to use that on the defense. Or can you even do that on the defense? Hold on. I can't see what's... Let me go... Let's go check that out real quick. I just want to see what... Because is it on your turn? Yeah, it's on your turn. So he had to use it there regardless. Okay. Either way. But yeah, there was just a couple things there that he could have probably done differently that would have actually turned the tide in his favor. But we were, for the most part, in control that entire match. So on to the next one. All right, so in this next match, we ended up going up against Jiren. Jiren could be a troublesome card or deck for us to deal with just because like we can't, if he has a 30k body on board, we don't have a means of minusing the power of our opponent's cards. And 4-cost Jiren is actually a little bit harder for us to remove. So double strike might not be the play in this particular matchup just due to the fact that if he has a 30k power body on board, double strike does not work. He only takes 1 damage. So, but in this particular matchup, I think he goes for more of a control aspect as opposed to flooding his board. I'm trying to remember how these matches kind of played out. He took every single hit that we sent his way, until about like he got the 4 life, I think. And obviously, he didn't really have many good plays in the beginning here because. Obviously, he had 1 open energy. He didn't have another means to do a cantrip, so we just removed the 10k body, because why not? Just keep doing our self-awakening thing. We're not going to rush him down. Like, I'd rather him rush us down than us rush him down. And at this point, I think we kind of push. He puts everything on board there, and I think we just restand him, and we don't even swing again. Yeah, like, if he wants to awaken and do his crazy stuff, then he can do that himself. I'm not going to make him a 25k body on our own. So I'm not sure what this play was. I don't know why he played that out. Because, like, what's the point? it didn't remove anything on our board. He was just going to combo it off anyway. It was just a really weird choice. And why he doesn't just put a 25 to stop one of our swings. Like, it's a strange. I guess he wanted to take this hit, right? He wanted to take the leader hit knowing that he wasn't going to be able to defend that. And we decided to play this out and swing into him because we want to force him to go down in some way. So he awakens, he doesn't get the extra draw, which is good, and he just takes it. So that puts him in a really vicarious situation. Now that we got our secret rare, if he doesn't put out the body that he wants to put out, then like he's pretty much just done, right? So he wipes our board, which is a pretty good play. Not sure why he could have swung into us if he wanted to. I don't know 100% know why. Like, obviously one swing, maybe we defend one swing. We defend one swing and then you don't swing again. It's just a really strange like choice. So here we kind of just swing in. We just go for double strike right out the gate, right out the cuff. We just go, and because in my head I was sitting there, he was sitting there at like he comboed 5 cards to get to this point, and he had 8 cards in hand. I was like, yeah, I think he used 2 super combos, right? He used 1 super combo. So I was like, he might have all of his the other super combos in his hand. Like, I'm not going to go all in. That'd be really dumb of me to do at this point. And this is a really hard card for Jiren to kind of remove anyway, so I just do the standard 45k swing. And he just had dead cards in hand. He had a completely dead hand. This was a much easier matchup than I expected it to be. I feel like under normal circumstances where our opponent doesn't brick, I feel like we would be able, and he doesn't defend everything, that we would have been in a much worse situation. But that's neither here nor there. Like, we pretty much steamrolled him in this particular matchup. All right, and for the last matchup for the video, we go up against Halo-Ku. So Halo-Ku, I still think Halo-Ku is a fun deck. I think you can do a lot with Halo-Ku. The biggest thing that we have to worry about in this particular matchup is the fact that he's able to play out his Satan City stuff for relatively cheap, and he's able to just remove the things that we put on the board. Now, Secret Rare could be very hard for him to remove, just due to the fact that it's a 7 cost. So our name of the game in this particular matchup is just make sure he doesn't keep any of his Satan City stuff on board. We stop whatever Satan City cards he plays where we can, and just keep the board as limited as we can. So as you can see, he's already starting this. He's already starting that. Removing that, I'm not sure if was the most worthwhile play. He probably could have played other things. Because we're gonna take hits regardless. We're not gonna use our blocker until the end of the match. So obviously, again, name of the game, keep the board clear. We're not even going, if he wants to remove this Gohan, he's more than welcome to remove this Gohan. But he decides to set up board, and we draw our second Gohan. So obviously we're just gonna play this again, get rid of the Videl. We're not gonna give him any of his discard pile recursion. Doing so would just be very silly. And at this point, he's so low in hand, I decide, like, why not? Let's just swing into him. Put a little bit of extra oomph into these swings, right? So he's at 7 cards in hand. We're not even awakened yet, and we have plenty of card power in our hand. I am not concerned whatsoever. I chose to swing, too, because I knew that this Gohan was going to come down at some point. We obviously take the hit here, and he chooses not to swing. Which is a smart thing. You don't want to swing into us and take us down to 2, because that's exactly what we want to do. So we play Krillin here, and we play full power just to remove his board. We go for the double draw and awaken, 30k swing that he's now going to deal with. He already used his board, so he'd have to either super combo or give us 2 cards to really get out of that. But again, right now, like, yeah, he's got more life than us, but he also has like half the hand size that we do. So, and we just take this. I don't think it's hard to run the double strikers in this deck because you don't want to dilute the deck with non-Satan City cards. But he is starting to get a little momentum by putting out some of these vanillas and stuff. So now we try to exhaust him. He's down to 3 cards in hand. We go in with a double strike crit. He has to give us resources in order to get out of this. So he rested the field, and he gave us 3 cards basically to block that attack. So now he's going to have to contend with this potentially every single turn. So again, we're blocking this just because double striker could be a thing. It probably isn't a thing, but I didn't want to necessarily risk it. He cheats this out, which really doesn't do much of anything. And he starts going at us. We know we can take one of these swings. And it's not that big of a deal. And why he went for this, I'm not 100% sure, because now we can just start clearing board. We don't even have to worry about board all that much. We obviously got double, so we're gonna get we full power to get rid of his problem cards. And then we start recurring stuff back to hand. We want to put the pressure down. We want to get him down to 2. And then obviously we're just going to focus on his board. And we still have a lot of combo power. We're at 3 life, so we can take 1. We know we're going to get something out of hand if we take something. We got Hercule that's on the board, plus we got another 20k or 30k power combo power in hand. So we block this hit, knowing full well that we can't die if we just take this hit. So we just start taking hits. yeah, there's that. It's just over. The game's over. So we start recurring stuff in the hand again, and we just go all in. Because there's no way he can get out of 100,000 power. So it's just... Satan City is a deck that can be very troublesome. It can be a problem to run into. Unfortunately, I think there were... He was playing the exact same game that we were. We were trying to control his board. He was keeping our board in check. But once the secret rare just got down, it was very, very hard for him to have to get out of that and whatnot. What he probably should have done in those final swings, what he should have done was hope that we didn't have a second secret rare and just go for our board. He should have just taken out our double striker and just made that fight a lot less hard on himself. Like that's probably what he should have done. But I mean, again, we're all in this tournament. We're all like trying to make decisions that are going to benefit us. Maybe he thought just pushing for us was the best way to go. So, I don't know. It was a good match though. It was fun. All right, guys, and that's going to do it for our Namek Goku deck profile and gameplay. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments section below. Again, if there's anything that I was going to change in this particular deck, it would probably be to take this out and replace it with probably like a Nappa, maybe the double Great Ape double strikers, just so we have 2 double strikers on board that our opponent has to contend with. Maybe I remove these searchers out for like regular cantrips. Maybe cantrips would be a little bit better. It would give this Hercule more options to actually pull from the grave to do so. Maybe I add an extra full power in here just for the added control benefit. But I mean, this deck got us 5-2 in the tournament, and as you can see, where we're currently ranking as of the time of the recording, we are currently sitting at 639. When we did our placement, we were sitting at just above 500. We were at like 482, 483 or something like that. And we're still sitting in the top 1,000. So at this current rate, I think if I'm losing my train of thought. At this current rate, I think that there's a possibility that we will reach the finals by the time that the event ends next Wednesday, I believe is when it ends. So, should be good, should be fun, a lot of fun. But yeah, I mean, I hope that Bandai does more events like this. But let me know what you guys think of the Namek Goku deck, and I'll see you guys all in the next Fusion World video. Peace.